Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Edge Rated. I am Edge, and today it's going to be a quick one. We are going to be talking about Tron Ares. Everything I thought about it, my thoughts on the whole movie, history, and also what I've been listening and hearing on the internet and what people think about it. So, first things first, let's talk about it. And welcome back, guys. I am Edge. This is Edge Rated. And I just realized my intro is very Tron ish. And I love it. I didn't even think about it when I created the intro, but I'm like, man, it works. I think that's cool. Again, welcome back, guys. I am trying a new setup. If you can tell, I have all kinds of knickknacks in the back. That's actually not my setup. It's actually my kids' recording setup whenever they record. But I'm like, you know what, guys? You guys, man, it's pretty cool. Like, I can't really see my little girl's theme, but I have a boy, so why not? I'm like, looks cool. I'm gonna use it, guys. But anyways, let's get it right into it. We are gonna be talking about Tron Ares today, and my thoughts. Uh, First things first. I'll be honest with you. I loved this movie. I thought, heck, dude, my hat is all over the place. I don't even know if I'm straight. I feel crooked. Um, I love this movie. I thought this movie was awesome. The visuals, amazing. The music, amazing. And I didn't even, when I first heard when this movie was going to come out, which I think was about a year ago, I thought, man, I don't know. Will it work? And the reason I say that is because the way that second, because this is technically the third, Tron Ares is the third movie of three, the third, but the way they left Tron Legacy, which made such a big impact into the Tron verse, Tron world, was amazing. I think, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people that love that movie, it left the visuals were amazing. If we think back to Tron Legacy, the music, which was created by Daft Punk at the time, one of the greatest, I still consider one of the greatest electronic duo DJs, producers, composers of the time, of our time, this generation. If for you guys that, or any of you guys that like that type of music, EDM music, electronic music, it was amazing. I mean, I'm one of those, and it blew my mind. That was one of the highlights of that movie, not including obviously the visuals were great, for that time. Um, but yeah, I mean, let's think back when these movies came out. Tron Legacy came out 15 years ago. The original Tron came out 42 years ago, back in 1982. And let me tell you, for those times when the original, let's go back to the original Tron, came out in 1982, 42 years ago, 3 years ago. For those times, the technology was in infancy, the effects, what we can do with movies at the time was just getting started. And I just recently went back and rewatched the entire series. I watched Tron 1 before watching Legacy again, and then watching Tron Ares, which I just went this opening weekend to watch it. When Tron, the original one, came out, technology, the visual effects, what people can do, what companies can do, such as at the time Lucasfilm, LucasArts, they were experimenting. It was new, it was innovative. There is a documentary that I saw on Disney Plus that talks about Tron and how they did that, how they layered just to get that glow effect at the time. They had to layer every frame with some sort of colored in effect just to get that look, just to get like they were in a computer, like they were glowing. Now it's something 10, 30 years later when Tron Legacy came out, that was all done in a computer. Now a computer is able to do that. So it's amazing how they have progressed through time to make these movies. And excuse me. Now we go back and we start looking at how much now in today's date for Tron Ares, how much more advancement they can do now. And I think that is the key uh, message behind the entire Tron universe, I guess you could say. Because if we really think back at the story of Tron Legacy, and now Tron Ares, there's always been some sort of message that has to deal with technology. If we think back to the original, we were talking about, and there's a line in Tron, the original one, Tron 1, where a character, one of the scientists, literally says, doesn't it scare you that computers are going to start thinking for themselves? That means we're going to stop thinking for ourselves. And this was back in 82. And if you really think about it, they were thinking what's going to happen in the future when computers think for themselves. That was innovative. That was new for them. And that's where Tron, that movie in specific, takes its story. And now we push it to Tron Legacy, and it's a different take on technology. At that point in 2010, when Tron Legacy came out, it wasn't whether computers can think for themselves. We're thinking, what happens if AI starts thinking for itself? What do you think is going to happen if AI thinks for themselves? And if we go back and we start looking at, for example, what Tron Legacy is about, we can start really seeing that. And this is just a shot of Tron Legacy, just to remind us. In this movie, we start thinking, what if the AI starts thinking for itself? And what would happen if that AI goes against the users? And that's exactly what happens in the movie. It's a almost social commentary of our time and what happens. Even though there's flashy, bikes and, the grid and everything's a computer animated, whatever it is. But at the same time, I love that these movies, each movie has its own message that it's trying to tell you. And in doing that, we see these visuals that are just amazing. I mean, look at that. I mean, Tron Legacy for its time and what it was trying to say, it was great. And I think that's what a lot of people missed. The fact that the message that these movies were trying to say, even though they were like, wow, spectacles. And like, for example, the fact that Jeff Bridges, which is a character that plays Clue, that we're looking at right now, that's all computer generated. That was something that they were experimenting at the time. And if you look at it now, if we look at it, it looks pretty bad. You're like, whoa, I mean, obviously you could tell it's a computer generated character that looks like the actor, but at the time it looked amazing. I saw that movie, I was like, wow, dude, things that they are doing with this stuff, and what if that really happens? What if, that can happen in the real world? And it's exactly what's going on now 15 years later, that we have a new Tron movie. We can see another, I guess, evolution or step in that technology. And now we have this movie, the one we're going to talk about, Tron Ares. I will tell you guys, from the get-go, I went into this movie thinking not that much about it. I wanted to know what exactly is going to happen, because I was hoping that they really would continue the story that was left off with Tron Legacy. And I was hoping that they would continue with Sam's character and the core character, which was a computer program that was brought into this world per the end of the movie of Legacy. And how is that going to play out? Now, I don't want to go into many spoilers, because I do recommend you guys watching this in theaters. I think this is a movie to be watched in theaters. And I say that because I got a question from a friend who asked, is this worthy of going, or should I just wait for it to come out in streaming. No, I recommend that you watch it in theaters. It's a must in theaters, and specifically in IMAX. Now that's the way I saw it, IMAX. Um, I do hear that 3D is mind blowing. That you have to watch it in 3D because it lends itself to the 3D. The colors pop, the effects just pop. I don't know. I don't really like 3D movies. Between you and me, I think if I go in, I'll watch it in a big theater screen, IMAX if I have to, if I can. If not, then I'll go in and watch it just regular. But again, going back to the movie, guys, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was good. The story is what it is, and I'll go into it in a little bit. But just to go back to the transition between Tron 1, Tron Legacy, and now Tron Ares. And this is just me, guys. It's just my opinion. Don't kill the messenger. I think that this is just another commentary as to where we are in technology. Tron Legacy was Tron 1, was what happens if computers start thinking? What will we do? Tron Legacy was, dang, what if AI and that computer becomes self-aware and actually goes against the users? And that's exactly what happened with Clue, which was the bad guy in Tron Legacy. Now we're at a stage in Tron, this whole Tron universe, where it's what would happen if that program that is in the computer comes out into the real world. Now it's smart, it's sentient, it can do everything on its own, and now it's in our world. And that's exactly what Tron is, in my opinion. I think that story was missed by a lot of people, including critics. I think a lot of people are missing the fact that, hey, this is a great underlying message as to where we are. What happens if the program that we are so used to, the AI that makes, funny videos on the internet, starts becoming, it's almost, and it gives, and I read this from I heard it from another YouTuber that I follow that also does movie reviews. This is very Terminator-ish. What happens when the computer actually starts making itself into a living machine? And that's exactly what Tron Ares is trying to portray in the Tron universe. What happens if it comes into the world and you know what? I don't know, this is not the world that I thought it would be. This world is kind of not okay. Humans are questionable. So if you go into this movie and actually see it this way, I think you're going to enjoy the movie. I think there's more chances of you actually appreciating what they were going for. Because I thought it was great. The story is very basic. The characters are not that deep because if you take it as face value, you're going to see shiny lights and, planes flying with streaks of light behind it. But there's always an underlying message. And I thought that was what was missed by a lot of people. But again, that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think. Obviously, you could think differently. If not, let me know. With that said, moving on, I think when it came to the characters, specifically Jared Leto's character Ares, I thought it was a good portrayal. I have, read online, people are, saying I'm not going to watch this movie because Jared Leto's in it. He's such a bad character or such a bad actor. But we have to really dig deep into how Jared Leto and him as an actor takes roles and how he sees them. I personally love the way he interprets characters, and I have been a fan of him for years. There's different movies that I've seen. The one that I liked, and surprisingly a lot of people hated, was his take on the Joker. And I guess we need to understand that the way Jared Leto takes roles, and at least my understanding of it, this is just personal opinion. he is a method actor. And the way he takes on roles is when he receives that role, he becomes that role. And a good way to put it is if he became the Joker, for example, or Ares, he reads the character and he embodies the character. And that doesn't mean that as soon as they hit cut, that's it. It means that throughout the entire time that the production of that specific movie is going, he is that character. He becomes that character. So the entire time that he was a Joker and playing the Joker, he acted like the Joker. Even if he went to his trailer, he was the Joker. And in this case with Ares, you can see that he became this program Ares, and he acted like a program, and his portrayal or his understanding of what a program would act, you can see it in his portrayal of Ares. And I thought it was great. I thought it was a great take on what the character is trying to demonstrate. You can see in subtle expressions how a program goes from I will follow your orders to maybe I don't understand what you're trying to why are you trying to do that? Why? And it's subtleties in his acting that I really loved. I love the fact that, you can see him really, or at least the character Ares thinking, why is this happening? Or why am I doing what I'm doing for this command program that I don't know? Again, without giving any spoilers, that's my take on the characters. Now, the other characters that come along, like Dillinger, which is a new character, which even though the last name Dillinger is known throughout the Tron universe, this new Dillinger is the son or grandson of the whoever started the company Dillinger, which I believe is the first person in, or the bad guy in the first Tron. I need to verify, but I think that's what it is. I think they were all good. I think they did what they had to do. The comedy, there was a comedy, I guess, relief character, which is the partner to the CEO of MCOM, which is the good guys, not the bad guys. I thought all the beats were good. I honestly went thinking, this guy's probably gonna annoy me. He's just gonna be throwing out their jokes that don't hit. And I came out surprised. I thought it was good. I thought his comedy, comedic, wherever he put in those comedy lines, they hit where they had to. I didn't have a problem with it. Again, if I was to go back and recommend this movie, I will watch it in theaters. I highly recommend that you watch this in theaters. And the reason why is because it's made to be watched in theaters. I'm not saying you won't enjoy it once you get it on Disney Plus, because I'm sure it's going to be just as fun. But unless you have a projector at home, unless you have this super 8K HD ultra, whatever the movie TVs are today, where you can actually see the video popping out, you won't get the same feel as if you actually watch it in theaters. Now, my take on the whole universe, I do think that because the opening weekend was very bad. In all honesty, the opening weekend for Tron Ares was very sad. I think that we run and probably will not get a Tron 4. I just found out that there's a petition out there for a Tron 4 to be made because it did so bad. The opening weekend, I think, only made like $66 million, and the budget for this movie was $250 million, not including advertisement, not including the fact that, you got to pay for commercials and pay for, the social media advertising that they're pushing. So I don't think that they're going to be able to recoup what they put into it from theaters and from what people are actually going to watch. Now, with that said, that's why I'm telling you guys, go watch this movie in theaters. It is worth to watch just to enjoy the music, visuals, all that good stuff. Um, but yeah, if there is a Tron 4, I really hope so. And the reason I say that is because it is made, it was made for a part 4 because they do Easter eggs that include Tron Legacy. They do Easter eggs that are part of the original Tron, and yet, unfortunately, the word of mouth is what's really keeping this movie alive. And I urge you guys to not take the word of, critics out there. Don't even take my word for it. This is just my opinion. Go check it out yourself. Make your own idea, your own opinion of it, and then let's talk about it. But again, in my opinion, my take, I'm going to go watch it again this weekend. I liked it. It was awesome. Now, overall, my rating, I give this movie out of 10, I give it a solid 9 because the movie was awesome. Nine Inch Nails did a great job with the soundtrack. Perfect transition between what Daft Punk made to what they recreated or their own version of it. The visuals are stunning. And the lead character, even though people are ragging on it, it's one of the best. It's one of the best. I'll be honest with you. I think he does a great job. With that said, that's my take on Tron Ares. Now, you guys let me know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Did you guys did not like it? Are you gonna watch it? Not watch it? I say watch it. And leave me a comment below or hit my socials. Hit a like, hit a follow, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys on the next one.